It's a problem here. All right. Good morning, everybody. Louis Porcino, Man Over Market, and today is Friday the 9th, and there we go. A little more lighting. Uh, there's our mascot around here. That's Ginger. Um, so anyway, the market is been very resilient. We waited for the Fed meeting yesterday to rally. Looks like we're getting a little bit of global rally on all the commodities across the board: gold, oil, all the metals. Energy prices. So I just think we're getting a little rebound, a little short squeeze on these commodities. Yesterday, that I put out on crude, that I thought crude might be heading for about $55 to $56 to close that gap. Also, S&P stayed in the range. I said keep your finger off the mouse after the minutes were read, and basically, the market and the S&P and the Dow. I think the S&P is having its best week since December of this year. So, do we have a chance to go higher on the year? Yes, I think we're headed back up to the 2100 area. I think we're going to get a little pause, but the structure on the way down, meaning, and this is what concerns me about these rallies. Poor structure on the rally up, and then it was poor, on the way down. We took it all back in 3 days, so that left poor structure on the way down. So, I just think the volatility is going to be increased volatility, and it's got to be our friend, but you got to pick your spots. Now, if Friday holds true to what's been going on throughout the year, then it usually sets the range in BC and then spends the rest of the day trying to get out of it. So, with the exception of last Friday, when it was a crazy time. All right. So let's get to the chart sharing, and we'll talk about the market structure. We had a little problem with our computers on our profile. Pat's rectifying that, but we got some backups, things that we can show you, and stuff that we did last night. All right. So let's go to screen sharing. Let's go to this right here. All right, let's start with the overnight profile. We got a high right here of 2014. I can make this a little bigger for you. All right, high of 2014. We've got a low, right, of 1998.75. Let's call this both unfinished up here. This looks like, in this gray area, looks like it wants to put some more volume, spend some time up here. And then we have an unfinished low down here at 1999 even, okay? When I talk about poor structure, I just think that the market needs to fill in down into this area. I don't know if it's going to do that today, but I think that the market needs to fill back down into the 1986 area and so on. So if you look at overnight lows and day lows, they've been going steadily up, right? So we're making higher lows according to profile. And then if you look this way, I think this is where the market. All right, so we've got an unfinished top up here. Well, this is a 211.75. That's the one that I was targeting yesterday. And then I look at what we've got going forward. I think we've got some single prints right here from 217 up to 222. All right, up to 222. So I definitely think that if the market gets some momentum, that the market could be heading up, to 222. This area, this unfinished top up here, which is a Globex top at 229. So stay with us. If we get any sort of momentum, I will make sure that I keep putting out those points for you today. All right. Looking at a bull bear zone today at 203 half. For some reason, there they go. All right. All right, value area high of 1996 and a quarter. Okay, the pivot is 1998. That's the day pivot. The day pivot, and then we have value area low at 1979.75. Okay, market trading above the 5-minute pivot right here. Okay, so we got the 5-minute pivot at 2005. Okay, 2005. And we've got all the, yesterday was funny because the NASDAQ, when you look at the internals, the NASDAQ was down 29 as we kept making highs yesterday. And finally, when the NASDAQ turned positive, that's when we went and rallied up, right? So we got the Russell. Here its 5-minute pivot is at 1160.20. I've got the YM right here at 16,962. And I've got the NASDAQ sitting at 4337.75, 4337.75. So all the 5-minute pivots are up. I'm thinking that we're going to get a two-sided trade when I look at profile and see that we've got both the bottom and top that are not finished, and I don't like the structure down below us. But like I said, the typical Fridays, the markets have been taking a breath, and that breath means that they have been typically try to go out and get some range in B and C, and then the rest of the day they try to get outside the range. Okay. Once again, here's an SPX chart. Okay, so here's the cash. All right, we've got our 5-minute, our day pivot in the SPX. All right, so if we get this move above the cash, which is 2028.5, that will turn our day pivot from a sell into a buy, to a sell into a buy. Okay, so there's a day pivot at the SPX of 228.5. So I would keep that also. Remember, we trade at a discount to cash. All right, so I thought I'd throw out a little cash chart for you today. 228.5 is a big number in the SPX for you to keep an eye on. All right, turning to some commodities. Let's take a look at gold. I'll tell you what, like I said, I did this long-term Fibonacci, back from the 670 area up to the all-time highs in 1900. This area, 1153, looks like we're trying to get back above it. All right. So, the market sat at 1130 for most of the bottom was 1130 right in here, as you can see, for most of the, for above it for most of the year. And then we went down for the last couple of months, in June, July, August. And, and now we're back above that 1130 area. Okay. So, and we took out the day pivot and went to a buy. I think the market is poised to go back up to the 1200 area. All right. Certainly in this area right here, 1190 for right now. Okay. I can't figure out gold because I just think it's not a leader or a follower right now. And remember, I always tell you it's a demand product, but I think it's just rebounding based on the the global economy, global news, and so on. So I think there's a short squeeze being done on the oil. I gotta find that chart. I'm gonna bring up. Hopefully, I can bring that chart up for you. Let me leave this up here so you can keep looking, viewing that. And meanwhile, if you have any questions, let's get them out, and I can answer any of the questions that you may have. Here's our chart that I've been looking at basically all year. Now remember that these charts get readjusted. Okay, let me see here. Sorry. So this is the ES chart that I've been looking at all year. So when you look at this chart, okay, the low on this chart is 1131. Okay, and so I was looking for that retracement. Here's the high of 2134. Okay, and this chart, I've gotten from Thinkorswim, and it's using the low of 1131 on this chart. So when you look at the Fibonacci, I'm looking at 2134 high, 1131 low. We're well above the 50%, and now we're above the 68.1%. So what's next? Right here, right here. I think, the 2050 area is where we're going, because that's where we came from. So, do I think we're going to get there today? I think the market could take a little breath. Like I said, you take a look how we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a little lower close, then, we continued up. All right. So, I think that that's an important a chart to look at. And I think that, I keep saying we're going to be a buyer of dips. You just got to pick your, I think the bottom is in for the rest of the year. And, barring some, some catastrophe around the world that nobody's seen, right? I mean, there's been a lot of bad news, and this market has seemed to absorb most of it, right? So, and it's really, it's been pretty resilient. I even think if the Fed decided to, and this is the one I used with using the 1831 low that was put back here in August. All right. So this is showing that to get above the 61%, all we have to do is get above 2018. All right. So these are two different approaches using two different lows, two different time frames. But the confluence is telling me that I have to get back above here. And then our day pivot would be somewhere in the futures around 2031. So if we got above 2031, took that out, then we're definitely headed back up for the highs. Okay. Well, I don't know about the highs, but I think that we're headed to the 2100 area. Let me see if I could pull up this. It's not the chart. I'm looking for the oil chart. There we go. There's the CL chart. Okay. So looking at the CL, I'll get the value areas out to you. Like I said, we had a little problem this morning. I think that oil is going to head, if I blow this chart up, all right, back to fill this gap here at right here, okay, at 56.5, okay. So I think, a rally up, to 56.5 would fill that gap. And, I don't think that we're out of the woods. And then if we would trade back below right here, which is our pivot of 42.30, then the market would turn negative again. So for all you CL traders, I put that out there for you. Any other questions? Let's go over the bull bear zone 2003 half, value area high, 1996.25. We got our day pivot at 1998. Value area low at 1979.75. Okay, numbers on the way up. If the market starts to fuel, we've got 2017.25. Let me pull this back up here, make it larger. All right, so we're looking at 2017.25 right here. Okay, and then I've got 2022.25. Above that, I'm looking at 2029.25, and then possibly today 2032. Remember, that's the number that I was talking about in the Fibonacci retracement, 2032. All right, and then again, taking a look at the cash, the SPX, put these numbers down, come back to them, 2027. I'm looking for above 20, 28, 80, 2020, 2028 quarter. So, any questions, Anthony?
No, it's covered everything.
All right. Remember, I've been telling you that on Fridays, they've been contracted ranges. I think based on the volatility that people will be taking a breath this Friday. But you got to be ready for anything the way this market's been trading. So I'm headed back to Western Illinois this weekend, Macomb, beautiful Macomb, Illinois, where we played the University of South Dakota. And looking forward to a great weekend with my three sons. My son Anthony's home from California, and Louis and Brianna, and going to watch their baby brother, baby Joe. And I'll see my new granddaughter this weekend. So all you people have a wonderful weekend. And remember, put money in your account every day. All right. Talk to you guys later. Good luck and happy trading.